Hey everyone, welcome to Forward Builds. This is the start of a new series of how-tos, episodes of car series on how to do specific things on cars. So as we progress to work on our BMW e46 325 Xi, we will show you how to do specific things, how to get it done, so you can hopefully follow it at home, in your own garage or driveway. And being an amateur myself, hopefully I'll be able to show things fairly clearly to you so you can easily follow it. My set of tools, obviously I'm not a mechanic, my set of tools is fairly limited as well, so obviously there might be a few things that you need to buy along the way, but most of the things you should have quite handy at home. Otherwise maybe it's sometimes you actually need to invest in a few things to get the job done properly. So let's get a crack on. And let's go hit the car. And what we'll be doing today is fixing the a broken rubber boot on a front axle. A 325 Xi is a four-wheel drive car. Rubber boots at the front have cracked, so we need to disassemble the front axle, remove the rubber boot, obviously replace it with a new one, grease it all up, and mount it back on the car to make it drivable again. So let's get a crack on. So here's that front axle. We've taken the wheel off and disassembled the brakes. And here's the axle with the broken rubber boot, as you can see. So we'll be taking that whole axle off, taking the rubber boot off, putting a new one on, and assembling that to be as we see it here. All we got to do first is undo the tie rod ball joint, and also behind it you will see the lower control arm ball joint. So we're going to undo those to give us enough room to be able to swing the whole MacPherson straight assembly and remove the axle. Turn the steering wheel all the way to left or right, depending on still which side you're working on, and then it's just to give yourself a little bit more room for access, and start undoing the ball joint nuts. So I'll undo the tie rod first, and then we'll follow on with the lower control arm. It's a number 19, by the way. If you're finding it hard to get it off, then put the nut on so it's flush with the top of the bolt. Put some sort of metal on there. Some wax. There you go. Done. And now we're going to do the lower control arm. Well, I'm hoping you're going to be able to see something. Put that there. Once again, a number 19 spanner. And away we go. Problem on this car here is the axle sits on top of the lower control arm ball joint, which makes it a little bit harder to get to and undo. I think we've broken it loose now, so let's undo the nut and let's see. Okay, so a lower control arm ball joint is now loose. Now we're going to take off the front half axle nut that holds this in place. So what we're going to do is first unbend these safety latches, and then once that's done, we can undo the bolt, which is a number 36 with an impact wrench. Okay, so both sides are now unbent. As you can see, it doesn't have to be all the way unbent, but I'll just take an impact wrench with a number 36 socket, as you can see. Okay, I've got it. Done. Next thing is we're gonna get some sort of a bar. Here's a piece of steel that I had. Essentially, what place this in the center here and hammer, and move the axle out of the knuckle. Hammer, rod. I don't have to bash it really hard. You've got to give enough force, but it should come out quite easily. Okay, and there we go. Front half shaft is out from the knuckle. So now all we've got to do is remove it from the transfer case. Now I don't know how easy it is going to be for me to show you this, but in order to disengage the half shaft from the transaxle, we've got to come in from underneath and sort of bash it on the lip here, from coming from that side, obviously from there, in order to I guess disengage the C-clip that's hiding there, and then allow for that half axle to come out. So let me go underneath and hopefully I can show you this, how this is done. Once again, a hammer and like a pry bar to get that disengaged. So let me crawl under the car and disengage. As you can see, during the actual process, the rubber boot sort of broke away even more, but we now got that half axle disengaged from a C-clip. It popped out, and there it is. Okay, so now let's take the half axle out, take it to a spot where we can take a better look at it, diagnose it, and take it all apart, clean it up, and then start putting it together. So here you got the half shaft in all its glory. As you can see, the rubber boot disintegrated during the actual removal procedure. For some reason, these two bearings came off from this triangular bearing housing. Not sure what you want to call it. Not quite sure why. These are quite hard to get off. Or maybe not hard, but you do need to give them a good whack to actually take them off. So I don't know why they actually are off. And there's the rest of the half shaft. So all I've got to do, obviously, just clean these parts up a little bit, take the rubber boot off from this side and this side, take the circlip away from here so we can remove this whole piece. Now be prepared, this is a filthy job, so give yourself a lot of paper towels, disposable paper towels handy, so you can just clean all stuff up and throw it all away, obviously. Put some brake cleaner. Just get these parts sprayed up. Spray. Brake cleaner really does the job. We don't work with the brake cleaner. I was going to say dry cleaner. Brake cleaner, and our parts are looking quite good. Anyone that's been watching my channel for a bit of time will know that I don't like working with greasy things. Just don't like having oil on my hands. So okay. I do like tinkering with cars, which doesn't go hand in hand, I guess. Okay, so we've got to take this bearing off now. So I'll show you how to do that. We've got our job a little bit easier because these are already taken off. And now that we've got them cleaned up, we can inspect them and I guess see if there's any damage on them. Doesn't seem to be. Seem to be fine. Turn fine. Obviously the full of brake cleaner now. And the other one, let's have a look at it. That also seems fine. That turns freely, so not sure. I don't know why they were off. I was driving the car, didn't seem to be any indication that there's a problem with them, so odd. Okay, so let's get that one off. I'll show you how that's done. And before we get to maybe taking off that bearing, let's take this rubber boot off. Be careful with your fingers. So to take the bearing off, I'm just going to take the shaft, put on a piece of wood. Take a piece of wood and give it a blow on the side of the actual bearing, and that can come off quite easy. Okay. To take this triangular piece off, what I do, there's a circle here, if you can see that, a circle here. Okay. Just to show you as well, whilst we got this out, when I was disengaging this from within the car, so as you can see that this is the end that goes in the car, I was actually hitting it here to get it to disengage it. There's a C-clip right at the end here, as you can see, and that's what holds it in place essentially. So you gotta give it a couple of whacks just to disengage that. Okay, so the last piece of the puzzle is to get this triangular piece off, because as you can see, that's not going to go on there with that on. So put this. Okay, so that came off without too much effort. Let's clean this up, put the bolt on, and we can start the assembly process. So everything's going quite well. So what I like to do is get a bucket of hot soapy water, brush. This is the part that we want to clean. Okay, so we've disassembled the half shaft. We've taken off all the necessary parts. So let's maybe start thinking about now what do we need to do to put it back together. It feels a lot of plasticky. So as you can see, there's a groove here. So this is where this needs to actually go and sit. Okay, so now it's in, and we're going to put a bracket on. Yes, and we did forget to put the bracket on, didn't we? Okay, I could take this apart, but so take this off and lock this on, and so keep that in mind when you go and do it. Okay, there it is. Or might as well. Actually, no, we won't do it up yet. So what we've got to do now is put our triangle piece back on here, and put the bearings on. Triangular piece. Oh, there you go. Actually, that one just slid on there. Wow, that was nice and easy. Circle clip that we had, that we previously took off. We're actually spreading the circle, seated in there nice and tight. Okay. So that's on there nice and solid now. With that hammer. Okay, now what we're going to do is back grease in here to make sure that this is on. Oh, actually no, oh, hold on, hold your horses. I'm going to put the bearings on. Bugger. Now that would have been quite embarrassing. Okay, bearings. So how do we put the bearings on? Once again, piece of wood, bearings, give it a bit of lifting grease, and I'm going to move this cover back. Always put these on a piece of wood, and always hit it for a piece of wood. I need a bigger hammer and basically just give it a good whack. Okay, see, that's on there and that's not coming off. Just go around like that and do all three. I'm wondering, as you can see, these particular bearings, if you put them on this side, they sort of stop there. If you put them on that side, sort of gone quite easily. It's quite odd. So maybe that's what I did wrong and why that came off. Okay, so now what we're going to do is get that grease, pack it all in there, and some in there, and then put these two parts together. So we have our axle ready. You can see the boots, new boots on. Can hear the grease splashing about inside. Now, as you can see, there was a lot of grease that came out because of that cracked boot. So let's do a bit of cleaning up before we put this axle back on, just to make this place look a little bit neater. Control arm and area around the control arm is looking a lot better. The grease is gone, and as you can see, the half axle needs to go in there. That's the spot. So we've got it nearly at the end. Now the last bit, we've got to get our pry bars or chisels out and a hammer, and essentially bang it in. So maybe I'll give you a close up just to show you how that looks and what we need to do. Not sure if you see these yeah, there you go. There's these grooves on the side of the casing. So these are the spots where you can take a chisel and actually use that to hammer or to knock the actual half shaft in. Okay. Alright, so that's clipped on. Try to grab that housing and pull it out, and I can feel that C-clip has grabbed that. The C-clip on the end of that shaft has caught on, and I can't pull this out. So we're good to put the rest of this half shaft and knuckle together. Okay. Then that's for the time being. That's one side. Oh, actually, I'll go and move the camera. Apologies. And this is the other side. So there you go. Both are bent in nicely. That's it. We can obviously now remount our calipers, mount our wheel, and our half axle is done. Thank you for watching. I hope you join us in our future episodes on the how-to series. Keep on wrenching and see you soon.